Oh, good. I love all your pictures. You've been rocking it out with the water challenge.
Yes, I'm on finishing number 4 right now.
That's so awesome. Cheers.
Definitely.
Really quick. I drank a ton this morning because I was running around all like midday, and I haven't had any for like probably for like 2.5 hours, and I'm very thirsty.
I know it was a little busy first thing this morning, and then it died off for a little bit because I worked today, until 3. And so, I was trying to get water in, and then my sister-in-law showed up, and at that time I didn't know that Lindsay wasn't going to be on yet.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get home from work so I could connect with that too. And
no, so sorry.
But
I think she got the cred that I did. She's like, and it came out of nowhere, and I was like, yeah, that's what happened to me too.
Oh my gosh.
Like I thought I was having a massive neurotoxin detox one day, like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, I was just so unbelievably fatigued. And to the point where like my brain, like I couldn't think, I couldn't speak. I was just so tired, but everything else felt fine. Like not other detoxy symptoms. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I must just be detoxing. It's so weird. So I like canceled all my clients, and I'm like, I just need to rest. And then the next morning I woke up with this cold. It's been a pain in the butt. 3 weeks.
There's
antibiotics, natural antibiotics, colloidal silver, salt boot, like everything, zinc, vitamin D, vitamin K, like everything. It's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm getting it slowly but surely. I'm getting it. Today's a good day, so.
Well, that's good. Did you see what I sent you?
I just saw it. Yeah, that's we have those in our snack drawer. They're awesome. I need to add it to my grocery store swaps. Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, I don't know how long they've been there because I quit going down that aisle since I don't really eat the peanut butter and I don't eat the bread.
Yeah.
So I just quit going down that far. And she came by and she says, "Did you know that they've got those bars in these little packets?" And I went, "What?"
So awesome. The vanilla ones, I feel like taste like icing. They're so like vanilla-y, sweet, yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. I bring them like, what is going on here? When I travel on the airplane, I feel like I always want like a treat, and they're easy to travel with. So I bring them with me then. And then I have like my son, that's like his snacks, like at school, because it's so easy. And then you're getting protein and fat, and he's feeling satiated, and it's
cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh my gosh, that might be my next go-to.
I know, right?
Definitely.
All right, girl. Let's do this. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad you hit me up because I kept forgetting about it. So I'm like,
I did too. I did too, and I was like, I have got to get these done. And I did one with Petra yesterday, and I was like in tears. I was like, if anything was gonna fill your bucket, do these. So I was like, I hope I need to reach out to Joyce, and I was like, oh, it's already scheduled. Thank goodness. We're good.
Yeah. Definitely. I've kind of missed you.
I know. So I have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 7 questions. It's short, like. It doesn't need to be long, just short, quick, authentic, from your heart, whatever it is.
Okay,
and,
sounds good.
We'll go from there. Yay.
Okay.
All right, so we have Joyce with us today talking about the Have It All group coaching program, which has been a huge success, and especially Joyce's story. So I'm so excited for you to share bits and pieces of that with us today. But
thank you.
Yay, thank you. I want to start with the very beginning. What was your reason for beginning our work together, right? Because inflammation affects everyone in different ways, and it's nice when people can hear individual stories and be like, oh, I relate to that. So what's your story? What were the symptoms you were experiencing? Why were you interested in joining Have It All?
A few different things. One was the way I was feeling. Mm-hmm. I was always so fatigued that I didn't know which direction I was going a lot. Having thyroid disease can do so many different things to you, and I never knew if it was from my thyroid or my adrenal glands or if it was from something else, those kinds of things. So basically my health in general that way. The other one was my weight, because I have gained in the last 10 years, I went from 170 pounds up to 214 pounds. And I stayed stagnant. I'd lose a couple and then I'd gain a couple, and I'd lose a couple and I'd gain a couple. And I've been praying about it for some way, somehow, for me to be able to find something that I would be able to lose weight. But also the main thing was because I was always hurting. I have chronic back disease because I have degenerative arthritis, along with a few little bulges here and there caused from a vehicle accident in 2010. Started out with just one, but now I've got a few more, and they've just been kind of watching them. Osteoarthritis in my knees. I have carpal tunnel. My mom blessed me with a lot of things.
Genetics play a point.
Yeah,
You have genetic predispositions to inflammation tends to target.
definitely. And she was always a heavy woman, and so I was beginning to think that it just ran in our family, I thought I was trying to eat healthy a lot of different times, but it just, then I'd fall off. And then I'd think, oh, well, I'm not losing anything. And I just go back to eating whatever because it was easier to fix and go from there. And so I've been praying about this for a long time, me and different women at the church, about our health and stuff. And you appeared on my Facebook with your challenge, with the 5-day challenge. And I started listening to it. Now, I wasn't a big avid water drinker. I would go through spurts. In the summertime, I would drink a little more. And later, I would lessen it up. And I was more of a coffee drinker, just like my mom. And so, anyway, the water challenge was the other thing, was, up in the water intake and all that you shared about how it can change how you feel. And then I saw the 50 different names for processed sugar, and I think my mouth about hit the floor when you started sharing about that too, and what it can do to your body and stuff. And I went, that sounds like me. That sounds like me. That sounds like, oh my gosh, And so that's when I decided that there was so many things that touched base with me that I wanted to try this and see just exactly what it was about and see how I would start feeling if I was able to do this.
Yeah.
And so that's what got me started.
That's amazing. So many symptoms.
Yes.
I'm hearing feedback. Did you hear feedback on your end?
No.
Will you turn your computer down just a little bit? Maybe that will. Sometimes funny things happen with the computer. See if that makes a difference. Check.
Okay. Does that help?
Hello? Yeah,
Hello?
a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I had it up all the way. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It's you had pain, you had low energy, you had thyroid or hormonal thyroid disease and degenerative disc, like so many different things. So tell us what happened. You started this program, this 9-week group coaching program. What began? What was the result that you experienced?
Well, after I first got started, you say you're going to feel a little bit worse before you start feeling better.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I had a few days, maybe a week or so of some headaches, which I did get headaches, not a lot anymore, but I used to get migraines pretty bad. And so then I was like, okay, what is going on? What is going on? but then I started noticing as I was drinking the water and trying to work on the food a little bit, I started noticing my weight starting to go down little by little. And my mouth about dropped. I was like, oh my gosh, is this for real? You know? So after a little while, the headaches were clearing up. They were going away. But my body, it's such a difference. I don't have the hurting all the time anymore. I still deal with my back, and I always will. But I know now that it's not just from, the way that I'm eating. It's like if I'm at work and working at the gas station, I'm on my feet a lot, sometimes 8-9 hours. And there's a lot of times where I'll end up just standing and not being able to get away from the register. Then my back really gets tired. Today it is bothering me a little bit, but I also know why. And so, but the other the pain that I've had from the arthritis and the joints, and it has lessened up so much that now I can tell if I've had something that had either some wheat or some sugar in it, because then I start feeling icky.
Your body's talking to you, saying it doesn't like it.
Definitely.
Do something different. That's amazing. I love it. And your energy, like I remember when you started the program and you were working really, really hard, like you were covering a bunch of shifts and doing really long hours. And I remember us being on a coaching call and you were just in tears. You're like, I'm so tired. I can't think. I cannot function. And then just last week or this week or a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember, you were like, yeah, I'm working all these hours and I'm fine. And I get home and I do all these things and I have all this energy and it's all good. Such a contrast, right?
Oh, yeah. Such a big difference. I know that stretch was back like the end of April, first part of March, or first part of May, when we had a couple of coworkers that walked out. Yeah. And I pulled an 18-day stretch without any days off, and was working anywhere starting at 4 o'clock in the morning and wouldn't get off until noon or 2:30 in the afternoon. And oh yeah, I remember how tired I had gotten. And I know at that point, I still wasn't 100%. Yes. I was only, as we talked, 80-20.
Right.
And so I was still eating some things that I shouldn't have been eating.
Let's talk 80-20. Let's do that. Let's talk about that, because you felt a lot of improvement. You lost weight. I think you lost like maybe 10 or 15 pounds, and you were like, you're feeling better, generally improving, right? And you were like, but I feel like I've hit this plateau. And I said, okay, let's just share the foods that you've been eating, right? And you're like, well, I eat really good, but then I go to like our church picnic and there's like apple pie or some sort of pie or cookies, or like if I'm running behind, I forget, like grab a like croissant or something that I can't remember all the details, but like it was 80% of the time you were eating really healthy. You were having salads and all these, and then 20% of the time you weren't. And the salads, by the way, had like salad dressing with inflammatory foods, things we hadn't really dove into that seem healthy.
Right. And I thought I had found a dressing that was good, and you said, no, it's not. I went,
no, Mama.
Okay, now what am I going to do?
And I remember that moment. You were like, it was like, what am I going to do? Like, what? And now you're like, I just order salads with just lemon. Like you just constantly. And I've never heard you ever mention that you miss the salad dressing. I don't know. Maybe you do.
No, I really don't. Actually, when I bring a salad home, like today, the kid that was in the kitchen for me, I asked him if he would make me up a salad, which is just the lettuce and then a hard-boiled egg and some grilled chicken and we put 4 cherry tomatoes on it. Now the other stuff that's added is bacon, which is cooked up and added on there, and cheese, the mixed like mozzarella cheese and the cheddar cheese. Okay. And so he knows that I don't eat that stuff.
Yeah.
And so he makes it up just for me. And if we have some shredded carrots and red cabbage, then he will put that on for me also. And so I'll just stand at work and eat it that way, you know, just mix it up and cut it up and, you know, and eat it. Now today I asked him to fix me a salad, and then it turned into, well, I had some almonds and some cashews and a few sunflower. I kind of made my own little mixture of almonds, cashews, some sunflower seeds, the meats, and some pumpkin seeds, which was the first time I've eaten any pumpkin seeds.
High in protein, anti-parasitic.
It tasted so good and filled me up so much that I wasn't hungry for my salad.
Yeah.
So I ended up bringing it home.
Yeah.
But there's been times when I do bring it home and I forget that I have the dressings here that I can eat. And I'll just grab it and just start eating it. You know?
I love it. I love it. That's so awesome.
It doesn't bother me now not having that dressing on it.
So what's happened, because a lot of people might be listening and be like, oh, well, that's not me. Like, I like my salad dressing. Thank you very much. But what happens is your taste buds change over the course of this program.
So much.
Yeah.
So much. Because I used to, you know, I would watch how much dressing I put on, but I was very avid. I had to have my ranch dressing, you know, and I mean, because I've had it, you know, for a few years now, but that was part of my salad. If you didn't have ranch dressing, then I was very upset with it, you know. And now it's like, they say, what kind of dressing? And I say, none. And they look at me like, what? And I said, no, they have sugar in them. So I don't care to have any. Right. And they go, okay. And we have a country kitchen here in Chadron. And one of the cooks I've gotten to know a little bit. And so he knows. I say, oh, just tell him Joyce is here.
Oh, that's awesome. So good. I want to make a point though. You were saying the reason you didn't do the salad dressing because there was sugar. Same thing with bacon. You guys, processed sugar hides in these random things that we never think to think. Processed sugar and bacon and meat and sausage and dressings. And so that's one of the things that we dive in. I teach you guys how to become a renegade researcher, right? And that's really what you did. And when you close the gap, when you close that 20%, the 20% that still had sprinkles of inflammatory food here and there, what happened, Joyce?
Oh, the weight started really coming off. And the way that I was feeling just escalated. I mean, as far as I was feeling better, I couldn't believe the difference in how I felt. My energy level is like, I want to almost say out of this world, you know, for me. I haven't felt this much energy since I was young, you know, and my kids were young.
You can go young.
Oh my gosh. It is just, and you know, like I had posted with you that, Saturday night, I kind of got busy on my paperwork and never made it to bed.
Yeah.
My energy level, even all day Sunday, I was just couldn't believe the difference in my energy. I figured I'd fall a doze off, you know, sitting in church and stuff during sermon, you know, you're kind of sitting there and you're going like this. Nope. I was wide awake. I was totally with it. Yeah. And I came home and sat for a while. Oh my gosh.
So amazing. And this is coming from someone that has thyroid disease, someone who had extreme fatigue, someone with chronic pain, like all these things. And you're like, no, we're good. Food is medicine. Food is medicine. And it's about knowing the exact foods to take out and swap for options that taste similar but don't inflame. That's the key here. It's not about adding a bunch of stuff. It's not about eating mostly greens or it's really about understanding the key top inflammatory foods, how to swap them out. And then we'll get into some nuances towards the end of the program, but that's the key component, right? Oh, I love it. And so tell Joyce, everyone, how much weight have you lost so far?
I've lost 37 pounds now.
37. Congratulations.
Like I said, it's been years since I have been down, and it has been a tremendous struggle with having thyroid disease.
Yeah.
Your taste buds are so different
Mm.
that you almost crave that salt and that sweet a lot of times,
Mhm.
you know, and on top of not eating, you know, the good old food like we used to.
Yeah.
Um, and I could never figure out. And everything that I read was, you're gonna have these problems. And so many people that I know that have gotten really big, and I mean bigger than what I have been.
Mhm.
And I'm like, at work, I can't believe that everything that we sell, I just kind of go, oh gosh, do you people really know what this is doing to your body? That's the way I feel.
I
And we're
know.
supposed to upsell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a real hard time with it. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it had been such a struggle, and I just can't talk about it enough now on how good I feel, and sharing, you know, what about the foods and the weight loss and how much better I feel. You know, I had my daughter's little nephew asking me some questions here a couple Sundays ago about what I was eating, and, you know, and sugar, because his brother is has celiac disease.
Mhm.
And so I started in on it, and my daughter says, now you got her started. She's not going to stop.
That's awesome.
And I said, well, he asked me some questions, so. And he said, I asked the questions. So I was like, okay. And he's like 11, 12 years old,
Oh,
13 years old, something like that. So, I mean, you know,
yes.
and he was curious about some things too. I was like,
Well, tell him in January we'll get him a free copy of the Clean Eating Kid.
okay.
Yes. So Joyce, tell us, what were the obstacles before you signed up? Like, what happened? I mean, I feel like there's always fear before signing up for a program. Is it going to work? Especially when you've been through the ringer, like you've tried everything. Finances can be an obstacle sometimes. So tell us about the obstacles, and how did you personally move through that?
Well, one of them was, okay, is this really for real?
Yeah.
You know? And so I have to be honest, I did go on to Facebook and Googled you to make sure that you were for real before I decided to sign up. You
Good.
know, I had to check that out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, getting into it, you know, the thoughts of, okay, what is there going to be to eat then? You know, because I've gotten so used to, for so many years, of being able to grab that box of hamburger helper and just add the hamburger to it,
Yeah.
you know, or the can of soup and add the milk, and, you know, all those quick fix things that we've all grown so accustomed to. Um, so that was the next thing. The other thing was, okay, my family.
Mhm.
What are they going to do, you know? And as far as the finances at that point, it wasn't really that bad. It was trying to find the stuff and trying to find the extra money that I needed at that point. Because yeah, I think we were still a little bit tight then, because it was after the first year. But to be able to get some of the fresh fruits and vegetables, or, you know, some of the frozen, being very picky about those. Finding the different meats. You know, my husband is not a lover of steaks or chicken or pork. Shall we go down the line here? And so that was an obstacle also, because, you know, I mean, it was anyway, but then trying to find that other stuff, you know, and then when I started pricing some of it, you know, and looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh. But I figured out a way to do it. It was like, okay, I'll start with just this and I'll work my way up to where I can.
Awesome.
And so that's what I've done is I started out with just a few of the fruits. And, I like to cook up a baked potato, or we have, yes, we do use frozen fish. And so I always broil it. I never fry it. I never have.
Mm-hmm.
I've always broiled it and stuff. And then, so just some of those things. Now it's easier for me to go to the store and I just start grabbing fruit or I grab vegetables and I say, I need this to eat. Oh, well, it's gonna, we're gonna take care of it one way or the other.
Well, when
God
you
has truly blessed us with that.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And when you have chronic symptoms, the medical bills stack up too. And so when you can, like Petra, one of the people we interviewed yesterday, she's like, she has gotten off a bunch of medication, half her meds, you're saving money there. You're not going to the doctor as often. You're not going to have all these tests done. Maybe you're not going to the chiropractor as often, right? So there's all these things that can help balance out that cost as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. My visits to the chiropractor have been much less.
Yeah.
I haven't gone for 2 months, maybe, almost 3. Yeah.
And you used to go how often? I was thinking almost every week, every other week.
Sometimes, depending, it would be like 3 times a week.
3 times a week to once every 2 months. I did not know that, girl. Yeah. That's amazing.
There was periods of time when my upper back would go out and I would, different times. Yeah, I had to go in like for a few weeks, like up to 3 days a week for a little while.
Wow.
And so, those bills, got up a little bit. But as far as like with my thyroid doctor now that we've got all this stuff figured out, the only time I have to see my doctor is once a year now. Amazing. And my blood tests are like maybe twice a year, unless I start feeling icky. But when I saw him a few months ago, he was like, you just look so wonderful. He says, from the first time I saw you, which was in the end of 2009, I was still a little bit puffy from the steroids. And I was a mess because that's when I found out my adrenal glands weren't functioning. My left leg was still puffy on me. I had some blotches on my legs from thyroid disease, from the disease itself. And, I was tired. I couldn't hardly move because of my adrenal glands not functioning. And my whole body just hurt. And once, we got things going, I started feeling better. But because of this, I've been to the doctor once in the last year, my medical doctor, and that was for my physical.
That's amazing.
I haven't had to, it's been since I started the program. I have not been in except to do my physical. That's amazing. The same with my thyroid doctor.
Yeah, girl.
I was going in like every couple months because I'd end up with a sinus infection or cold and congested and feeling crummy, or my foot was hurting so bad I couldn't walk on it and my ankle was bothering me. Couldn't figure out what was going on. They did x-rays and everything to see what was going on and nothing was showing up. And so I just went with it and wrapped it, and now it's like such a total difference in the way I feel. I am just, you are my savior.
Oh, I love you. I didn't even know all these things. It's so special to hear them and to just be a part of your journey and how far you've come. So I'm so grateful that you've shown up to do this work. Thank you.
It helped me so much.
Oh.
And I can't share enough about you.
Oh.
That's how much you have touched me.
Oh.
And I speak of you often, and at church too. I will let them know, whenever things are going on, when I'm losing weight and stuff, and I tell them all, this is why, God he answered my prayer, and you were my prayer.
Oh.
And so
Thank you. Tears of joy. Well, I think at that, I think that's a good way to end. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that you have showed up to this. Thank you for being willing to share your experience with everyone.
Definitely. If, whoever is deciding whether or not to do this, this has been well worth it for me. We figured out a way with our finances for me to be able to continue with the coaching. And my husband was kind of, okay. And I said, honey, I need this. I have to do this for me. This is to help me to feel better about me. I see what it's doing for me, even though you're not understanding it, but I need this. And whoever is thinking about it, go for it, because it will completely bless your life. My family is just in awe, and my friends, with the way that I'm feeling. My bosses even noticed the other day my energy level on how different, because I haven't seen my regional boss for a while. And she was like, look at you, girl. You're just busy running around here all over the place. I want some of that energy. And I thought, yes.
So awesome. Work productivity. It helps. That's the thing I always say, like, this way of eating is a ripple effect. And you know this, I always say this, Joyce, be the change you wish to see in the world, right? So you show up to heal yourself, to transform yourself, and you inspire so many people along the way, which is just beautiful.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. I'm working with my sister-in-law now, and she said she definitely wants to do this. And so that's how I found out about the little packets that they have at Walmart now, the RX packets, just like the bars, and she is already starting to notice a difference, and she has been losing also. Awesome. And so, yeah, just in the short time that she's been with the program and stuff. So
that's so good.
So good. We're helping her out. So
that's amazing. And you guys, this is not just about, you don't have to be like a great cook. Like Joyce said, I give you grocery store swaps. Like, we make it easy and doable and manageable, and a way you don't feel deprived, which is the best part.
Definitely. That is the biggest thing, is because, you see all those different recipes and you think, oh my gosh, I got to get all this stuff for all the different recipes. No, I don't. Yeah. It's plain food, getting back to eating what we used to eat without all the added stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just love it. I am so thankful. So thankful.
So good. Well, thank you. I love you.
You too, my dear.
We'll see you in the Facebook group.
Okay, sounds good. In a little bit, huh?
We'll see you very soon.
Yeah.